Hey folks, Jim Fortin here, mindauthority.com, and in this short little video, I have a question for you. Now, as you probably already know by watching other videos or maybe listening to some of the audios or some of the things that you've read, I've taught persuasion and influence to thousands of people from many different kinds of industries. And my students, they've said, you know, Jim, I have been to Miller, Hyman, Sandler, Spin Selling, Consultative Selling, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Tom Hopkins, and every other sales training program under the sun, and people will invariably say, how come they've never taught me what you're teaching me? Well, the answer is pretty simple. All those other programs are all about why people buy. My program, Zero Effort Selling and Unconscious Persuasion and Influence, is about how people buy. When you know how they buy, you can then influence why they buy. See, why they buy is reasons, rationality, statistics, features, and benefits. All the things that people do not buy, which we'll talk about in one of the other videos. But see, how people buy is people buy unconsciously. They buy through their filters, they buy through their identity, they buy through their mental blueprints, they buy through their past history, and a myriad of other things that I'll be talking about on these videos. So you've got to know how people buy, how they process neurologically, so that you can influence why they buy. Now the point of this video is this. When I ask audiences, I'll say, what do people buy on? Now every one of you watching this video are probably thinking, oh, that's easy. People buy on emotion, right? So you're probably thinking, yeah, Jim, I learned that long ago. People buy on emotion. So then I'll further go on to ask, okay, if people buy on emotion, let me ask you this. What moves emotions? What moves emotions? And prior to that question, I'll say, you know what? So your entire paycheck, we'll come right back to that. Your entire paycheck depends upon you being able to move people's emotions. Everyone will say, yes, of course. And then I'll go into what I just said. Okay, what moves people's emotions? You could actually, ding, you could hear a pin drop, okay? It's because people have never been taught the neurological side of selling. Now, I can't go into it on this video, but I will go into it. I'll go into it on some of the other videos. What moves emotions is this. Are you ready? What moves emotions is imagination. Because when you move a person's imagination, that then moves their emotions, which then moves their analytical thinking, which then moves their behavior. The biggest mistake that most selling managers and most actually salespeople make is they try to influence behavior. Wrong. That is the wrong end of the equation. You move the imagination, and that will move the emotions, which will then move the analytical thinking, which then moves the behavior. Because imagination dominates the emotions, which dominates analytical thinking, which dominates behavior. So again, I'm probably going to put 2 or 3 videos up about how to engage, how to move, how to excite the imagination, what it is, and how to use it in selling. For now, I want you to start thinking this, okay? And we'll cover this in more depth a little later on, is that imagination dominates analytical thinking. Imagination is what people buy on. Okay, so take that with you, start thinking about that, and start asking yourself questions when it comes to your sales presentations and your marketing material and your advertising. How much do you excite and you engage the imagination of your prospects and your clients? You know, the 2 biggest companies in the world are actually, one is Disney, which they're an iconic company. They're all built on imagination. Now, actually, the other company I was talking about is Mac and Apple. I'm actually Mac crazy, so I said Mac by accident, just sleight of mouth. But Apple, their entire company is built upon imagination. So start thinking about that. And again, watch some of the other videos on imagination, and I'll take you into it more in depth. And we'll start talking about how you can use the imagination to move your prospects and clients to action. Okay, Jim Fortin here, mindauthority.com. Thanks for watching. Watch the other videos and do what you can to make it a great day today. Bye-bye.